Hey there, low-code warriors. Get ready because we are about to dive deep into the electrifying world of APIs. Think of an API as a secret handshake of the software world, linking your app to its software pals. Without this secret code, your app ends up isolated without anyone to talk to.
Nobody? Anybody?
Now let's look at what's on today's platter. We've got a project that's been rubbing elbows with Zapier, the undeniable life of the software party. Picture Zapier is the charismatic kid everyone initially wants to hang out with. It knows the secret handshake of every group, clique, and software tribe out there. Zapier is your ultimate ally, introducing you to new connections seamlessly. But be warned, this alliance comes at a price. Yes, Zapier's charm is magnetic, but also a wallet vacuum. So today we're shaking things up. We're going to introduce our project to a new potential suitor in the software playground, Make.com. Will our project find its API match? Will Make.com win the coveted rose, proving it can not only charm our project, but also be gentle on our budget?
Hey, you got me. This is interesting.
We're basically gonna work on the same application that we started in the last example, all right? And here we have the Botpress sheets. This is an example. The code to it again is in description. Let's remember how this chatbot worked, okay? And we'll say, hey. Okay, so this is how it worked. So we come over here, right? And the question is, hi Simp, your friendly automation bot. This is the stacks, this purpose off. What brought you here today? This is this part. Create a bot for me. So we're moving on to this one. So they ask you, what is the purpose of your bot, customer or web sales bot? You say yes. Let's go with web sales bot. And then we go into next stack. Come over here. So here, basically we have a switch statement. Here, it looks at the bot purpose, basically the previous answer. And it says like, if the bot purpose was customer service bot, I will take a text next message variable and I'll add, according to the studies, you can save major dollars, okay? Plus this operator plus equal, it basically, if you have nothing in these variable next message, this is gonna add it to it. As you see, it says bot purpose equal customer service bot, okay? We move on, depending on what we chose in the previous one. We chose a web sales bot, right? And that's why web sales bot. So the string that we attach to the next meeting is this one. So now in this flow, this next thing would be is basically adding, it's populating the text field, and they put the information of the variable that is we stored in this variable will come out over here. Next step would be is we ask a user what stack you want. Do you have any AI stack in mind? Depending on what we choose, there'll be an answer. So we'll just, for instance, we'll say stack AI, and then we move on over here. Okay, so based on what we chose in here in AI stack, this execute code will do the same. I will say smart choice to build customer service bot. If I said, oh, I want to use stack AI, I see, and what we'll do, we'll put into the next message, we'll put this information, this string. I see that you inherit lots of money. Why don't you just use Flowwise and send extra money to me? Your customer service bot will be equally amazing, okay? So this is that. So this is that information. And there is a second workflow, basically saying else if. So this is if statement. It's not equal to customer service bot, but equal to web sales bot. Then we going to this switch statement where it says we're gonna equal next message variable to this string, okay? And then if we decided to do AI stack or bro stack, we're gonna do this string, okay? That's it. This is how this works. And let's move on further. And again, we're just going over it just to make sure we remember how this whole thing worked and why we needed a connection to Zapier to begin with, right? So here again, we do the same thing as before. we're just adding the variable, whatever we added into this variable in the previous code, we just add in here. And then we saw client budget, depending on what you choose, right? Well, this basically a true statement is saying if this condition is true, we will go forward, or always. Basically just moving forward, no matter what happens before, you're gonna move forward to the next step, next execution, okay? In the next execution, well, let's just follow with our bot. Here we're saying, what's your budget for this bot? You say 1 to 2,000, 1 to 5,000. Sure, let's do it, right? And here, sure, should we set up a meeting? So when I say sure, let's do it, it will go. When I say sure, let's do it, right? It goes straight to link to appointment, to this one, okay? And then link to appointment, we have this option, email me the info. So this is gonna be our Zapier hook. So this is the time when we're sending information to Zapier. Right now it's set as Zapier, but also we're gonna reformat it to make it as in make.com. Okay, email me the info. Okay, full name. What's your full name? It's asking me get excited. This is what it is. It says get excited. Someone will reach out to you. Do you have any more questions? And we say no. Whatever we say doesn't matter. We say no. Let's see what happened to our sheets, right? Right. So you see here in our sheets, AI bot that does lead collection. This is perfect, right? Right. So let's do the connection, right? So for instance, if you want to do, a lot of people had problem with Zapier connections. So let's just redo this whole thing. It's gonna be like this, and let's create a standard node. Okay, we could probably just copy paste this information, right? Because, okay, so this is how we integrate Zapier. And next one will be a single choice question. Question to ask the user, what's your name, right? And the single choice will be, what is this, full name, right? There's like a name thing. Okay, and single choice will be email, and the variable will be email zap. Okay, we're just gonna create that. All right, so we created this variable, so all this information all the answers to this questions will be saved in email zap. Let's see. All right, so here goes. Here's the code. Okay, but we can we use it like that? No, we have to change it because our variables are changed. Correct? So we'll call this email zap2. Okay, and let's add the code. Okay, look at the code. So I just did this. All right, so const lead data. So this is the information that we were able to collect from this whole chat, right? Because every time we ask a user a question, we were able to collect the information. So what is wrong with this code though? The wrong part of it is that our variables are no longer full name and are no longer email, correct? Because we changed those variables right now, right? So that's gonna be number one. So let's just change that first. We'll say we call it, I believe this one was answer to this one is first name, and you see it give you kind of helper. Answer to this was email zap. Okay, here you go. So now we have this information, right? Let's pretend that we don't have. We'll just take this Botpress sheet and let's create a new zap. Okay, so let's go down. So here, basically, we are sending a response using the Axios plugin that it has, that Botpress has, and what it does, it just sends out API request, post request to Zapier, hook to this address, and with the payload that we have. And if you will accept this payload, then will be a big success. Success equal to true. Let's pretend we don't have that. We know we have the lead data, correct? But we don't have the other one. Yeah, so we don't have the URL. So how are we gonna get the URL? So here you see this thing is called the webhook. Webhook is basically creating that address that listens. So we have webhook, and then we have sheets. Okay, Google Sheets. Let's create that. Say which catch hook. Find or create a row. Okay, and I'll say try it. And right now, what it's doing is actually waiting for our hook. Okay, whatever. Test. So we're just waiting. All right. So we're testing trigger. This is our webhook. Correct. So we'll take this. We'll come over here with our Botpress, and we'll put this hook over here. All right. So now we have a hook. Do you have any more questions? All right, so here it actually was true, so there was no problem executing this code, because this code would have not executed if it wasn't true. Here you go, you see? So Zapier get success true. We are... Oh, but we have nothing here because this was just a test. And test trigger. Here you go. We caught this information here. And what you say here is basically continue with selected record. We want to do Google Sheets. And we want to just create a spreadsheet row. Okay. We'll say yes. And then, okay, this is more like it. Like, what is this doing? Sheet. I did not send my first name in there. Oh, it didn't come through. Okay, because I changed the variable. Remember, in here my name was workflow.first name, but that didn't work because I used that already, so I think I saved it just as a name. Okay, so next one will work. Okay, we'll just do email twice. Okay, email, we'll just fix that. Okay. All right, so we'll just say continue and test action. Boom. What happens? Boom, it worked. You see Kanban? All right, so this one is almost working. Final create. Okay. Refresh fields. Okay. Find new records. Because we just received send a new record and that has a name. Okay, so that's how you fix stuff. Okay, cool. Continue. And here you go. First you say Zapier. My first name, last name is going to be also Zapier. And we'll say publish. Okay. Boom. All right, so and you want to make sure that it's on and retest action. Okay, here you go. So we just retested action, but it would work otherwise, other way. So here you go. We have Zapier, everything works. Okay, so the unedited video will be in Discord and Facebook group. So here you go. We'll call this email make to. Okay, I will say text. Boom. Next one would be, if this is a text, next one will be, I think I'm running out of variables at this point. I wonder if we could just push the variable over here. Oh, here you go. Perfect. So I'll just push the variable with your full name over here, since we're not using that anyways. And email over here, okay? So, email full name. The variable name is full name, and this is the name. This variable name email. So we want to make sure we remember this because we need that for our code. The code is the same as the one that we use for Zapier. The only difference is we basically just, for the sake of execute code, for the sake of convenience, we just rename the workflow make success false. Okay, we want to make sure that our variables are proper. So we're collecting full name on the first name under full name variable. We're collecting email under email variable. Both purpose, everything stays the same. This hook has to come from your make.com, okay? Because it needs to know where to go. But other than that, basically you're saving all this information in variable called lead data, and then you will send it using Axios to the hook address, and the payload will be this data. Okay, so go to make.com, and again, we do have affiliate link downstairs in the description below. Please subscribe so we can do more giveaways and make better videos. Okay, anyhow, so we here. So this is a brand new account. As you see, we'll go into scenarios. And remember how when we were in Zapier, we're thinking hooks and sheets, right? Hooks and sheets, same here. You could go templates, I think. And you could search. Oh, here you go. Well, basically webhooks. You could just filter everything by webhooks. And the first one that shows up is very popular, is webhooks and Google Sheets. So you're gonna select this one. And here you go. It just starts right away. You say create a webhook. Botpress tutorial. I told you so many mistakes. All right, Botpress tutorial, and you see it's waiting already. So it's listening for when you will send it any sort of a payload. So we have to first send it. Let's take this thing, and here you go. We have make success. If everything goes right and we able to send to this address, workflow.makeSuccess becomes true. It used to be false, and then it becomes true. Okay, and why do we need that? We need that in order to, which one I'm making right now? Oh, we want to do that in order to move on to the next one, right? The confirmation. Sounds good? I'll just put this away so you guys don't get confused. It's too crowded over here. Okay, so here, what we want to do is say expression. We'll just put expression here, right? And this expression, you know that if the value of expression is true, it creates this thing, and basically you could go anywhere, right? So you could go to the next execution. If workflow, so this expression here have to be equal, right? Workflow equal true. So this operator is equal operator says if workflow.makeSuccess equal true, well, is going to be true. But if this didn't work out, then it will make success will say false. I forgot to connect it here. Okay, I have a question. Sure, let's do it. Email me the info. Do you have any questions regarding what's your full name? Make payload. Okay, so you see it's actually say I don't like you, John. It worked. So if you send some gibberish, it rejected it, which is nice. Okay, it captured variable. Do you have any more questions? No. All right. So now we'll go back to make and see. It says, but this thing here is basically telling us that the payload arrived. So now we need to figure out what to do with this payload. So let's go next. Continue. So basically we need to sign in with our Google account that, oh, here you go, Botpress example. Awesome. Sheet name, sheet 1. Boom. All right, we'll go further. Okay, and now we need to set up the values, how the values are coming through. And you say, you see, so the UI is a little bit different. It's not as nice, but I think once you get used to it, and if you know it's cheaper, why not, right? So I guess it's not as bot type. Yeah. All right. Okay. Save changes. Let's turn it on. Okay. Johnny Bravo at make.com. No. Okay. So see, here you go. It worked. Okay. It worked. All right. So it's good. Again, it's a little bit less intuitive, but it's worth it. It's just uncomfortable for 10 minutes. I think once you get used to the quirks, it's faster. So why would we just subject ourselves to a little bit of discomfort to operations? And it gives you 1,000 operations, all right? So look at this. Actually get 10,000 operations, which is a lot compared to Zapier, basically 10 times the difference. Then the next step up is 750. So yeah, even if you're paying them $30, you're still getting less than the free on make.com. I think for us to get to 10,000, we have to pay $200. So overall, the difference between Make and Zapier on average is about 10 times. So it's 10 times cheaper than Zapier. I was spending about $60 on one of the Zapiers I had, and after switching it to actually more, I think it was more than that. So I was here you go, this one. So I was about 2,000 tasks. I was spending about $900 a year on professional Zapier, and after switching, I basically spent about $120. So the difference is about $800 just by spending extra 10 minutes figuring out how to connect it through Ping.com. I'm sure it'll get better, but as a matter of fact, as a rule of thumb going forward, Zapier is really awesome to figure things out really quick and understand how things work and make sure it helps you to build things fast. But once you actually get there, the better is to switch the connection integration to make.com for all the same integrations, and they're virtually the same. Give that like button some love. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and of course, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. See you next time.